1 week. That is all the time that passed between Prince Harry sitting across from his cancer-stricken father at Highgrove House in Gloucestershire, a private, quiet, carefully controlled family reunion that the palace made absolutely sure would not be photographed, and Harry walking a red carpet in New York City in front of a wall of cameras, waving at photographers, and telling them they were the most polite he had ever encountered in his many years in the spotlight. 1 week. Father to flashbulbs. Highgrove to Manhattan. A private family moment to a very public celebrity appearance at one of the most high-profile events on the American social calendar. And if you needed any clearer illustration of exactly who Prince Harry is in 2025, and exactly what his priorities are, you just got it. Let us talk about what actually happened in New York City on July 16th. Because the details here matter. Harry made what was being described as a surprise appearance at the Time 100 Most Influential People in Sports event. This is a glittering evening in New York City that brings together the biggest names in the world of professional athletics, the titans of sport, as Time describes them. The people who have dedicated their entire lives to their craft. The athletes who have broken records, won championships, endured injuries, and sacrificed years of their lives to reach the very top of their chosen sport. Harry is not one of those people. He was not there as a celebrated athlete. He was not there because he broke a world record or won an Olympic gold medal or led a team to a championship. He was there because he founded the Invictus Games, the sporting competition he set up for wounded service members and veterans, and Time chose to honor him for that work alongside the professional athletes being celebrated on the evening. And to be clear, the Invictus Games is a genuinely good thing. It has always been a genuinely good thing. Whatever else you think about Harry and the choices he has made over the last 5 years, the Invictus Games represents real, meaningful work. It has given thousands of injured veterans a sense of purpose and community and competition. It has shone a light on the sacrifices made by military men and women who came home from war carrying wounds that most of us will never fully understand. That is not nothing. That is something real and important and worth celebrating. But here is where it gets complicated. Because Harry's appearance at this event, 1 week after sitting in a private room with his dying father, 1 week after a family reunion that the palace went to extraordinary lengths to keep quiet and unfiltered and free from the kind of commercial exploitation that has defined so much of the Sussex brand, raises a question that is becoming impossible to ignore. What exactly is Harry doing? He showed up at the Time 100 sports event in a simple black suit, white button-down shirt, collar open. Looking relaxed. Looking confident. Working the red carpet. Chatting with photographers. Complimenting the press pack on their politeness. The same man who has spent years telling the world that the media is dangerous, that photographers represent a genuine threat to his safety and the safety of his family, that press intrusion destroyed his mother and is now coming for him. That man was standing on a red carpet in Midtown Manhattan telling the assembled photographers that they were the most polite he had come across in years. The media is only dangerous, it seems, when Harry does not control the circumstances. When he is on the red carpet on his own terms, in his own time, in his chosen location, in a suit he has approved and a setting he has agreed to, suddenly the cameras are welcome. Suddenly the photographers are polite and charming, and the whole experience is rather delightful. It is only when the media operates independently, when a newspaper runs a story he has not approved, when a photographer catches him in a moment he has not staged, when a broadcaster asks a question he has not been briefed on, that the press becomes the enemy. That is not a principle. That is a preference. Now let us talk about what Harry actually said at this event. Because in among all the red carpet pleasantries and the celebrity atmosphere of a high-end New York evening, Harry made a statement about sport and his personal relationship with it that was genuinely revealing. He told Time magazine that sport held him together. That he was one of those kids at school who did not enjoy classroom work. That if it had not been for the sports field and the amount of sport on offer at his school, there was no way he would have stayed in school. Stop and think about what Harry is actually describing there. A boy who struggled in the classroom. A boy for whom academic life offered nothing, no engagement, no fulfillment, no sense of achievement. A boy who found his identity and his sense of belonging entirely through physical activity, through sport, through the camaraderie of a team and the structure of training and competition. And that boy grew up to be a man who served in the British Army. Who flew Apache helicopters in Afghanistan. who came home carrying experiences and memories that most civilians will never fully comprehend. And who then channeled all of that, the military identity, the understanding of what sport means to people who are struggling, the knowledge of what it feels like to need something physical and purposeful to hold you together, into the Invictus Games. Understand it in that context and you understand why the Invictus Games matters so much to Harry. It is not just a charity project. It is not just a line on a CV. It is, in a very real sense, the thing that makes sense of his own story. A boy who needed sport to stay in school. A man who needed the army to find his purpose. And a competition that gives other men and women, people who gave far more to their country than Harry ever did, and paid a far higher price for it, the same thing. A reason to keep going. A goal to work toward. A team to belong to. That is real. And it deserves to be acknowledged as real. But the context in which Harry is showing up to celebrate that work is what creates the problem. Because Harry did not fly to New York City quietly, attend the time event to honor the Invictus Games, and then quietly fly home. He walked a red carpet. He worked the room. He posed for photographs. He gave quotes to People magazine about how charming the photographers were. And he did all of this 1 week after a family reunion that the palace bent over backwards to keep private, that royal courtiers spent days wargaming the potential fallout from, that Queen Camilla attended specifically so there would be a witness to everything that was and was not said. The palace gave Harry that reunion on the understanding, the hope, at least, that it would not immediately become content. That it would not be the opening act of a new Sussex media cycle. That a sick grandfather getting to spend time with his grandchildren would not be the first chapter of whatever commercial project the Sussex team is currently developing. And 1 week later, Harry is on a red carpet in New York telling photographers they are the most polite he has ever met. Royal commentators who have been following this story for years have pointed out a pattern that by now should be familiar to anyone paying attention. Every time there is a moment of genuine human connection, every time Harry gets something real and private and meaningful, whether it is time with his father or access to a royal event or a quiet family gathering, it is almost immediately followed by a public appearance that monetizes the goodwill generated by that private moment. The Highgrove reunion generated goodwill. It generated headlines about a father and son finding their way back to each other. It generated sympathy for Harry, humanized him in a way that his legal battles and his security demands and his leaked documents had not. And now, 7 days later, Harry is in New York on a red carpet, banking that goodwill. Using the warmth generated by the family reunion as the backdrop for a celebrity appearance at a prestigious Time magazine event. The pattern is not subtle. And the people around King Charles, the courtiers who spent days preparing for the Highgrove meeting, who insisted Camilla be present as a witness, who made absolutely certain there would be no official photographs, they are watching this. And they are noting it. There is also something worth examining in the specific event Harry chose to attend. The Time 100 Most Influential People in Sports is not a charity gala. It is not an Invictus fundraiser. It is a celebration of celebrity and influence and power in the world of professional sports. It is, in its way, exactly the kind of event that Harry and Meghan have spent years claiming to be above, the gaudy Hollywood circus, the celebrity freight, the world of influence and access and carefully curated public appearances designed to maintain a brand. Harry is there because he wants to be seen. He wants to be photographed. He wants to be part of the conversation about influence and power in sport. And he wants to do all of that while simultaneously being celebrated for his connection to the Invictus Games, a project that is, in genuine contrast to the red carpet events surrounding it, about people who have nothing to do with celebrity and everything to do with sacrifice. The veterans competing in the Invictus Games did not choose their wounds. They did not choose to come home different from how they left. They did not choose the nightmares or the physical limitations or the long road of rehabilitation. Harry chose to walk a red carpet in Manhattan. Those are not the same kind of courage. And yet Harry will return to the Invictus Games and he will be welcomed. Because whatever his motivations, whatever the commercial calculations behind the Sussex brand, the games themselves are run by people who genuinely care about the veterans they serve. And the veterans themselves do not care about palace politics or Netflix deals or red carpet appearances. They care about the competition. They care about the community. They care about the fact that someone built something specifically for them. So where does that leave us? Harry is in New York. He is on the red carpet. He is telling photographers they are the most polite he has met. He is being honored by Time magazine alongside genuine sporting titans. He is, by every external measure, a man who appears to be doing well. Relaxed, confident, socially engaged, publicly visible. And somewhere in Gloucestershire, a man with cancer is waiting to find out whether any of what happened at Highgrove last week meant anything. Whether his son's warmth was real or whether it was the opening move in a longer game. Whether the grandchildren he got to spend time with will come back. Whether the footstep that was taken last week leads anywhere meaningful. Harry told Time that sport held him together when nothing else did. That is a line worth remembering. Because the question the palace, and the watching world, is now asking is whether anything is holding Harry together right now. Or whether what we are watching is a man in freefall, moving from red carpet to red carpet, from reunion to celebrity event, from Highgrove to Manhattan, without any real sense of where he is going or why. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is Harry's New York appearance a sign that he is rebuilding his life, or proof that nothing has really changed? Hit subscribe for daily royal coverage. This story is moving fast.